Yes, people, welcome back. And on this episode, we're talking about Matthijs de Ligt and Lisandro Martínez, Manchester United defensive rocks. Now, we know Martinez haven't played for maybe you can say over a year now, or close to a year, but we for sure have seen de Ligt evolve over the last season. Now, in my opinion, both players have a massive role to play in this Amorim system, and we're going to have a deeper look into how they fit in, why they're important, and how they've both been improving and how they will improve Amorim team as the season goes along. So, Matthijs de Ligt has started the season exceptional. Even last season, when a lot of people were talking about de Ligt like he wasn't having good performances. Sometimes really good players' performances can be overshadowed when the team isn't really doing well, because at the end of the day it's a team sport. So if the team isn't doing well, no matter how well this individual is doing, it doesn't really count. So Matthijs de Ligt has not only had really good games last season. I mean, that one game he had against Liverpool when he made a few mistakes and he didn't have the best game, and after that he went on a great run of form, and since then I must say, ever since he's been out the team for a little bit and Maguire built into the team, then he had a chance to see how Maguire plays that central position. Now he's been a very pivotal part of Amorim's system, and I know he picked up a few injuries here and there and he wasn't fully fit last season. So now seeing de Ligt fit, strong, quick, like all these things he have to show as him taking another level. Now, sometimes you wonder why does Ronald Koeman doesn't play him much often, and sometimes you have to think about it. Is it because he's not a good fit to play with Van Dijk? Is it because they don't think he's good enough to be the centre-back to play with Van Dijk? So what is the reason stopping him from locking down a really good place with the Dutch national team? Now, I just think Koeman have something against him. I just think that there is something about de Ligt that he doesn't like. And maybe it's because he's a throwback centre-back, so he feel like maybe if de Ligt is supposed to now perform at higher levels than him, probably take his national team, spunk away from him, or I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if some coaches are just jealous of other players. I'm not saying that's what it is, but sometimes you have to think about it and think like, why is it de Ligt can't really hold on a spot in the Dutch national team, especially when you've looked at his career from Ajax to Juventus to Munich. So, and then to United. So you have to really think about it all the time. Now, in other ways, when you look at that game against Chelsea, he was one of the major reasons why United was actually playing on the front foot, trapping Chelsea, putting Chelsea under a lot of pressure. He was stepping into the midfield, causing overloads for United. He was also creating a base inside of the midfield, where now you had Casemiro not being on his own, which allowed Bruno to be higher up the pitch. And I actually think that is what Amorim asks a lot more of his right and his left centre-back. I don't think he really likes his middle centre-back stepping in as much, but the right and the left centre-back, he wants them to step in as often as possible. Now, we saw Luke Shaw do that a lot against Arsenal, but as the season has gone on, he hasn't done it as much. Hence is why I've also wanted to talk about Lisandro Martínez, because Martínez coming back to the squad is going to elevate United to another level. He can carry the ball. He can actually do that job of sitting next to the CDM and creating an extra six. He can also step inside and sometimes even allow the CDM to go forward. Now, him covering space in behind, especially coming from 2 knee injuries, it may take him a while to get back into the flow of things. It may take him a while to get back into the intensity, into the getting back his pace, his speed, reading the game. So there might be a bit of a time that he needs to get back into full fitness. But I honestly believe once Lisandro Martínez comes back, it opens up a lot of avenues for a lot of players also, like a Luke Shaw, to go forward. Because to me, he has a bit more... He's better on the ball than Dogu. Maybe not as energetic as Dogu, but in terms of quality on the ball, in terms of crossing of the ball, in terms of decision making on the ball, he is better. And he should be better because he's older. He's been at United for nearly 11 years now. So it's not like Luke Shaw is just at the club doing nothing. Well, he is actually. Because when you think about it, Luke Shaw hasn't reached 350 games for United in all the time he's been there. And when you think about it, 11 years, 350 games, that should be averaging roughly like 30 games a season, 35 games a season. Now, he's averaging way less than that, which means he hasn't really played a full season for United. So his injury crisis is a problem, which is why avoiding him in the left wing back every game might be a good idea, having a Dogu as well to push him. But in terms of Ligt coming back into the team, what Ligt will bring is distribution, ball possession, holding the ball, speeding up the game, slowing the game down, creating an extra pivot for number 6. Now, if you have a De Ligt, a Ligt, who would you think you play as the third centre-back? Do you play De Ligt at right centre-back and play Maguire back in the middle? Do you play a Mazuai at the right centre-back or a Euro at the right centre-back with a Martinez? What would be your favourable back three when Ligt returns? So you can put that down in the comments and let me know what you think. And maybe we can do a video about that back three and we can see how they would work and operate as a back three and if it would be the best back three for Amorim. Now, personally, I think Mazurai goes into that position at right centre-back. 1, he's calm on the ball. 2, he's not that traditional centre-back, which means now it allows United to now kind of go into a back 4 if they really need to, especially if they have Ahmad at right wing-back. They can slowly shift the team around where you have Noose, De Ligt, Ligt, and say Luke Shaw. That's a back 4. So now it's those small things that will allow United to evolve as a team. Now, Lisandro Martínez again, when he played for United, we have been in really good runs of form all the time. You know, we came 8th when he was injured. Last season, when we were having a bad run under Amorim, Ligt was injured. And remember, Ligt was a part of the team when we were winning games. Remember, he scored the winner in a game. He got the equalizer in another. So Ligt actually was a big part of what Amorim, and is a big part of what Amorim wants to do going forward. Now, which one of these guys you think should end up being captain of the club if Bruno leaves? Do you think Ligt should get the call, or you think Matthijs de Ligt should get the call? Now, personally, I think both of them have a great shout to the captaincy. What in different ways too. One is no nonsense, grit, bite, just raw roughness, aggression. Whereas you have another who is calm, composed, intelligent, but still rough. So that is the Matthijs de Ligt. And the first one was Lisandro Martínez. Now, in my opinion, Ligt have a bit more in terms of getting more out of his teammates than de Ligt. Especially at the club at United, your captain have to be a bit stronger and a bit harder than as soft-hearted as de Ligt is. But when it comes to speaking to the media, when it comes to having the aura of a captain, when you look at the Matthijs de Ligt, you can feel that aura. You can feel that he has the right attributes to be a captain of United for a very long time. I feel like, especially with Ligt, sometimes it's better to keep the captain band away from players like that because they bring an intensity to the team that you don't need them to have the armband. You probably need to give the armband responsibility to somebody else that needs to do the things that the captain needs to do. Organize the team outings, organize small get-togethers, organize things, be the mediator between the teammates and the manager. You know, those small things is what a captain actually does instead of just having the band on the field. Most time the leaders on the field are usually the best players, and usually the best players are the ones that don't have the band, and usually the best players aren't even the ones that we think are the best players. It's the players that impact the team on a daily basis. Now at United, we might say Bruno Fernandes is the best player, but he's also the one that impacts the dressing room the highest. You can tell he coaches the young ones, he talks to the bigger ones, he talks to the coach, he talks to everyone, and he's demanding of everyone. And that is how sometimes you can get that full blend, but then you still, no man is perfect, because he still throws his hand around, he still shows sometimes too much passion towards his player. And as you can tell in some of his interviews, he's been saying, I'm learning how I have to deal with everyone differently. I can't approach everyone the same, I can't deal with everyone the same on the pitch. And this is the bit of intelligence that he's learning now, that he's understanding that his attitude does affect the players sometimes. So for me, I'm Matthijs de Ligt, watching him play on the composure, watching him play on the pressure, watching him show his best form and growing into United. And Lisandro Martínez coming back into it, the impact that he will have for United. This is why I think these two of these guys will bring a solidity for the back four, well, back five, back three, whatever you want to call it. But also they will bring a different way of playing and will evolve the way United play, especially Lisandro when he comes back, because of what they can do on and off the ball. You have no worries with them defensively. You might have to worry a bit sometimes with them covering all that space. But in terms of communication, in terms of fight, in terms of determination, in terms of quality, in terms of defending, in terms of reading the game, all these attributes both of these centre-backs have. Now, a lot of people, again, might say, you know, boy, but Ten Hag never did anything good for United. No, we might possibly have a back three of a Ten Hag signing, whichever way you put it. Lisandro, De Ligt, Maz, Lisandro, De Ligt, Euro is all Ten Hag. And you know, defensively, we must say, as much as people want to say this guy never helped the club or bring in quality players, we can probably only name two players he's brought into the club that hasn't really hit high heights. And that's Andre Onana and that's Anthony. Everybody else is calm. Rasmus Højlund was 20 years old. He scored 12, 14 goals his first season. The other season, he was poor. But he's 20 years old, so that's not bad. And he won an FA Cup. You know what I mean? You have players like Declan Rice, 100 million players who haven't won shit for Arsenal. You know what I mean? So we have to really think about, when we just attack players all the time, what they've done. But you have a Noose, you have a Martinez, you have a De Ligt. You know what I mean? That's quality. You have a Menu, you have a Euro, you have a Xerxes. You know what I mean? Casemiro ain't that bad. So when we really look at what he's brought to the club, it also isn't that bad. So we have to sometimes just give Jack his jacket and Paul his coat and Mary, I don't even know what you need to give her. Jesus. But yeah, no, honestly, Matthijs de Ligt and Lisandro Martínez, the evolution, the defensive rocks for Manchester United, I just think that they will evolve the club, especially when Martínez come back. He can actually bring out the best of De Ligt, and I hope he's back very soon. I hope he's back by Christmas, having a run of form, so we can get him into a good run going into the new year. But yes, people, as usual, it's your boy Chino Falachi Yaya, of course, always bringing you great content. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the page. Keep hitting the bell for notifications so we can always continue bringing you great content going forward. Have a good day, have a good afternoon, have a good night, wherever you are in the world. Stay sexy and always remember, my people. Ciao.